Yeah, it's always good to get a win at a Grand Slam. I think everyone shows up and competes a little bit harder than at any of the other tournaments, and the tension is always high, and nerves are running. And waking up this morning, I actually had a lot of nerves. Was feeling some jitters, and was just happy that I was able to find a way to come out with the win today.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
Karen Pestana, Tennis Panorama. It's been since 2020 since you last played it. What are your thoughts about being back after a period of time?
Yeah, last time I was here, there were no fans. So very different today, playing out on Court 5. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. I think, some people maybe say it's not a good court or they're not good enough for that court, but, it was unbelievable playing, in front of the American crowd. Everyone was cheering for me, supporting me, and it was extremely loud. I mean, I think people just getting people from Court 4, Court 6, and it's always good to play in front of a full court. Stands are packed, and there was a lot of energy, and it helped me just stay in the moment and fire it up and win the match today.
Court.
Courtney Nguyen, WTA. Congrats, Jen. In terms of from the outside, when we look at it, it's very easy to kind of write the story of this must be a really momentous thing for you to be back after everything that you've gone through and taking the court. But did it feel momentous to you, like getting up this morning? You said you had jitters, but does this feel big to you? Yeah,
it feels huge. Last time I played a Grand Slam was, in 2021. So it's the slams are where we want to peak and perform our best, and those are the ones that really matter. Every tournament matters, but the Grand Slam is always something bigger, and you always want to do your best there, and hopefully you peak at a Grand Slam and not a 250, but you never know. But it's huge, and today I woke up feeling different than the other days, or maybe from other tournaments. I was like shaking, and but it was good because it means something to me, and I know that I was gonna go out there feeling nervous. Knew I wasn't gonna play my best tennis, but I just had to compete, find a way, and just stay in it.
Bill.
Congratulations. Obviously, it's just devastating for a world-class athlete to have an injury like you had. Could you, you've been asked this many times, I'm sure, but could you just, what was sort of the toughest moment for you? Did you feel that, hey, maybe I just won't be able to make it back? And thirdly, what did you learn from this process?
Yeah, I've been asked that a lot, all three of those. So I feel a bit repetitive, and my answer might be a little short, but it was a tough time. Injuries are always tough, but the toughest part is just not knowing when you're going to compete again. The unknown is something that, it's scary. It's just, you just never know when the first tournament's going to be, when you're back, if you're going to be able to continue playing, if you're going to be able to go week to week, and just keep playing again, or if you're going to have another setback. It's tough, but, I'm here, I'm feeling pretty good. I think there's a lot of things that I can improve on and get better at, which is also exciting because, I feel like my level is still there, but, at times, some things just aren't good enough, but, I'm working every day just to get back to where I was, if not better than where I was, where I left off. And yeah. I learned, I think we take the sport for granted. I think we don't realize how good of an opportunity we have to be able to play tennis, to travel the world, hitting a little fuzzy ball, and, we're able to see things, to do things that other people may never do. And, I think looking forward, I'll try to have that perspective. It's tough. Sometimes it's tough. You just kind of get lost in the bubble that we're in. But, I think just showing up, having a different perspective, I think is something that I'll try to do moving forward.
Hi, Jen. Victoria Chiesa, usopen.org. Congratulations. I'm curious, a lot of times coming to tennis tournaments can be a little bit like repetitive and just sort of the same things you do, go to practice, go to your match, do press. Are there things you've kind of had to, over the course of this comeback, relearn, like from that perspective? Like, what is your in-tournament routine been like for you now that you've been able to sort of play a few events in a row?
I think my first tournament back was tricky. I played a challenger in Granby, Canada, and just kind of getting used to things and just like all the little routines. I was trying to find my routine. I felt a little bit lost, didn't really know what to do. I was playing a match at like 9 p.m. I didn't eat anything since like 1:30 or 2. So I went out there and I was like, oh shit, I haven't eaten. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. I don't really have any energy. And it's just like little things like that. Here at the US Open, like it's impossible not to eat before your match. We have, so much food and so many options to choose from, but like just little things, just getting your racket strong and forgetting to do that. And just like little professional things that, like you just do every single day because it's just wired in your brain, every day before you leave, you do this, this, and this. So just kind of remembering all those little things and doing all those little things and picking up balls before practice and things are repetitive in this world, press, all of it. Yeah.
Court.
Jen, in terms of sorry that it's repetitive, but yeah, what can you do?
Yeah. It's good.
It's part of the joy.
Yeah.
But in terms of level, you were saying, in Montreal and everything, like sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And you said that today as well. What's the best match that you've played, you think, in your comeback that you've been happiest with? Or have you just been walking off the court kind of frustrated that it's not there?
Yeah, I would say probably the match against Rybakina. I don't know how to pronounce her name, whatever. But I would say that match, I played a very good first set the night before. We had to come back the next day. We didn't finish the first set, but, I felt like my level was there. But I also had a really good game plan going into the match. She's 4 in the world. So to be right there, I gave myself some chances, some opportunities in that second set to close out the match, but I didn't. So those are kind of the things that I feel like I need to improve on. Just kind of keeping my foot on the gas and closing out matches and trusting my game, trusting my preparation, and just kind of those are the things. It's not like I have drastic improvements to make. It's more the confidence in myself and, just being aggressive when I need to be and finishing matches and not playing the score.
Okay, we good? Bill, last question, please.
Jennifer, if I could ask, was there a time when you were struggling and off the tour and someone gave you a particularly good piece of advice or a text or some input from some member of your team or family that was particularly helpful and supportive for you?
Just like general stuff. There wasn't someone who like totally, was like changed my entire mood and got me through it. I could lie and say, I got one text that was just, super impactful and, changed everything. But I got a lot of texts from a lot of people I didn't respond to, a lot of people I left on red just because it was so repetitive. And, I got a lot of the same things and, there was nothing new to update them on. There was just a lot of the same thing. There were some players that really did care and reached out. Dasha Gavrilova gave some good advice to me just because she's gone through the ringer. She's had a lot of injuries and she's come back at a high level, coming back, making top 50 and then tearing her ACL. hearing her advice was more meaningful to me than some other people's. Yeah.